Hello and welcome to Rauta's German black metal review. This time we have a solo project called Shards of a Lost World. What a monster of a name for a solo project. I was about to say band. That is actually pretty basic stuff. That is the kind of default black metal, if you will. That is not a disrespectful way to describe the thing here, but more like it's timeless. It's one of those projects or bands, whatever you want to call it, which are very much tapping to the kind of a nostalgia of the 90s, but then again bringing it very much to the modern world, that is, world of 2020s. And this is a band that has been active roughly 2015, making 3 albums now. I guess you can pretty much see the basic information here on the Metal Archive side background. And what is curious is that this has been active throughout the years. And like I said previously, 3 albums within roughly 5 years, but there's more than that. The only one member of the band called Anxietas has other ventures as well. So this is not like his only focus point, but having other bands live or not, or some of them with projects, which makes me wonder if this is fully getting the attention it kind of deserves. Parafer, being the 3rd album and being out nearly a year now, is offering you some 35 minutes of black metal in mid-tempo section. This is sometimes very melodic, but mostly it's about darkness and creating the kind of a sinister vibe. If this sounds rather basic 1990s or even modern black metal, you're right, because in fact it is. What strikes out the most is, I guess, is that there is not too much faster or more energetic parts. It's mostly operating around the mid-tempo section, and for some people that might be just kind of not hateful enough. My point here is, when you're comparing these to bands such as, say, Marduk, Dark Funeral and the like, this might actually sound a little bit like laid back. But rest assured, the kind of a darker aspects, the atmosphere and all that stuff is very much present here. And compared to other mid-tempo black metal bands, often seen as the atmospheric ones, this is definitely going back to the more satanic or darker, sinister ways. So while there are lots of bands that operate around the mid-tempo area and are more about creating the atmosphere rather than being riff-driven, obviously some bands are more, say, nature-driven or nature-inclined. That is more about, singing about forests and lakes and, whatever mountain sides. Whereas then again, these kind of bands are more like, let's go back to the kind of basics of black metal. It's all about Satan and anti-religion and things like that, which is then again reflected with the music as well. There are also a little bit synths used, but not too much. Actually, that's one of the sweet points with these ones, because the amount of synthesizer is kind of kept to the minimum, but it's right there to kind of create the layer, which then again complements the guitars and drums and vocals. So it's not like so much stealing the spotlight, but rather like, hey, I'm gonna just put it right here. So it's kind of creating more nuances to the music than just being very much, guitar driven, be it more melodic parts or just, the kind of basic riffs, if you will, when talking about black metal. When it comes to the production and vocals, everything is pretty much like, yeah, it's kind of good, but not outstanding or great. And the thing here is, what this album lacks is some kind of a deeper punch, kind of an impact. Sometimes I'm talking about catchiness, and that's actually what is problem with the album. I'm not saying it's a big problem, but that's a kind of a minor issue, because albums like this are very easy to listen to and kind of enjoy, but they don't really have the songs that are outstanding. Now, the German use of vocals actually creates a little bit more hateful feeling to the output, and that's actually quite nice. And that's because that's also reminding me of certain more controversial German black metal bands. But nothing here is too raw or too polished, so it's kind of a very, very well-balanced album for a black metal that is doing mostly around the mid-tempo area. So easy to get in, but kind of are still too easy to forget. That being more or less a problem, but maybe not that big one. Anyway, definitely an interesting release. So in case I got you interested, you will find links provided in the description box. Check it out or check it out not, up to you. This is definitely at least worth considering for a listening experience. See you soon with more reviews.